Scott. I'm Russell.
And I'm Leo. This is Spitball. Welcome to Spitball, where three future forecasters and a guest empty our heads of startup and tech product ideas that we have stuck up in there so you can all have them for free. Anything that we say is yours to keep. And Russell, I believe you brought our guest this week.
I did. I brought Bryce Kaiser, entrepreneur extraordinaire of West Michigan. He's, I guess, starting a VC startup, maybe.
Whoa.
But also just the successful entrepreneur that I know, having sold a company. West Michigan, shout out to Bryce, the entrepreneur.
So way overqualified for us.
Not just qualified enough.
That's right.
He's, so thank you, Bryce, for joining.
Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I am so excited to be here. Longtime listener of the show, and it is a privilege to be able to pitch ideas here today. I'm so excited.
We're so happy to have you. This is going to be so much fun.
Wait, are we all pitching to Bryce today? Are you going to fund one of our
Bryce,
ideas?
please. Is my idea good? You're the only one who can tell me. To get us started this week, I want to, in the spirit of entrepreneurship and inventions, I want to get us going on with a little bit of a warm-up game that I'm going to call, But Wait, There's More. I want to pitch you guys, not pitch you guys, I want to tell you guys about a famous as-seen-on-screen TV product from back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s here, and all you have to do is tell me if they still exist today. Can you buy one or not? So if I said, OxyClean, it's got the power of oxygen, Billy Mays here. Yes, you can still buy that at a Costco, right? So, as always, we got to start with our guest, Bryce, the Clapper. Introduced in 1985, a sound-activated device. You plug it in, it lets you turn outlets on or off with a clap, or, as I recall, a dog bark or a loud thunderclap would also turn your light on or whatever. Clap on, clap off, the Clapper. Does it still exist today? Can you buy one?
I absolutely believe that it still exists, and I also believe they have extended the product line to have more products recently. Yep.
Have you purchased a Clapper recently?
I've browsed. Yeah. So I haven't committed.
Same. You can still buy the Clapper. In the age of smart outlets and stuff, I guess it's
for
still
real,
a
the
thing that,
IoT one.
Yeah. Grandma doesn't want to do your Samsung Galaxy smart home.
Call
she
an
wants
Uber.
to clap.
We just turned on lights to like millions of listeners right now. Clapping, right?
You got to bleep that out, Leo.
Yeah, right.
We do.
No clapping allowed. Scott, do you remember the Flowbee? The Flowbee was introduced in 1988. It's a device that goes on the end of your vacuum, and it was an unusual device that let you vacuum and cut your hair, and it sucked up your hair as you went. It was kind of a famous, like, half meme, half, oh my gosh, this is the best idea in the world sort of thing. Introduced in 1988, the clean-as-you-go hair-cutting home service. But does it still exist today?
I'm going to say no, but there's probably a million STL 3D print versions of it out there.
The Flowbee does not exist anymore. It was pretty ridiculed at the time, so no, you
and
are
it's still
correct.
ridiculed today.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy the Flowbee, but there's probably some knockoff home 3D printed versions out there somewhere that you could scalp yourself with.
I do have a dog version of it. I actually use it with my pup. Yeah.
That makes sense. Are they afraid of it?
Yeah, did they freak out from the vacuum noise?
No, not at all. It's not like the full Flowbee that where it would go over your whole head, but it is like a vacuum attached to the clipper. So
That's great.
I'm sure you just use it for dogs, Bryce. I'm sure it's just for dogs, right? You have 2 kids, right? You have some kids there.
yeah, exactly.
You shave them down and then hose them down outside when you're done. Done. Hey there, Editor Leo here. In the interest of not spreading any fake news, I had apparently sourced some misinformation, and you totally still can buy the Flowbee, so props to all you Flowbee heads out there. You can get one today. Sorry to Russell for skimping you some points. FLOWBEE.com, I guess. Anyway, back to the show. Russell, do you remember Head On, applied directly to the forehead?
Head On.
A topical homeopathic headache relief product, and it would say that over and over again. Head On, applied directly to the forehead. Introduced in 2005, so more recently than I remember. But can you still buy Head On today?
I'm sure you can buy the organic version with essential oils. So, you just have, yes, that's got to be a thing.
Head-On is gone. You cannot buy Head-On.
Oh,
There's probably 100
Opportunity.
knockoffs, like you said.
The
yeah,
FDA
but
shut it down.
the product, even though it was not even marketed as real medicine, it didn't even survive those standards. It is gone. All right, round 2, the workout round. Bryce, do you remember the perfect push-up in 2006? It was a rotating push-up handle. You'd go like up and down, and it would rotate as you pumped up and down. Introduced in 2006. Does it exist today?
I think I still see videos of those going around. I think fitness influencers are still using it.
That is still a thing. Absolutely right. Perfect push-up. Scott, the Bowflex, the big one in the titan of the industry. 1986. I didn't realize it was that old. Resistance-based design. It was kind of a cultural icon of a thing for a while there, but does it still exist today?
I see them on Facebook Marketplace every once in a while, so I'm gonna say no.
They are still around.
No way. Good for
Bowflexes
them.
are things you can still buy a Bowflex today.
is Chuck Norris still alive? That was his product, right? As long as he's alive, that thing is still alive, right?
Was he a Bowflex guy?
I think so, right?
I thought he invented
I
it.
believe it.
Maybe it was a
There's probably a
different
Chuck Norris joke in there, like the Bowflexes flex Chuck Norris or something. I don't know.
There
That's
it
right.
is.
That's
Yep.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, there's something in there. I can't find it.
Edit one in later.
Russell, the Shake Weight. Introduced in 2009, known for dynamic inertia design. The Shake Weight is a spring-loaded dumbbell that had an awkward way that you held it, and it was to tone your upper body muscles. Famously parodied on South Park. Does it still exist today?
I feel like they made so much money back in the day, they could never get rid of it.
There is still updated modern Shake Weights that you can buy today on Amazon. Yes, all 3 of those products in that category are still a thing.
What colors do they come in? I guess that's.
I looked
check
on
that out.
Amazon. There is a white one. It was like the Shake Weight Flex or something. It had like there's like categories of product now in there. I don't know how it works, but a great gag gift for White Elephant, I think.
Always.
Yeah. One more time through. Bryce, the Ronco Rotisserie, the classic set it and forget it rotisserie oven, 1991, famous for making home-cooked rotisserie-style meats with minimal effort. 1991. Does it exist today?
I can't believe that it still exists, although fantastic product. Love the marketing. I don't think it survived this era of ninjas and all the other products out there. So I say no, it's not.
They are still around. You can get yourself a Ronco Rotisserie. Yeah. I was surprised too. Scott, last one for you. Life Call. This is a medical alert device, the precursor to a different company called Life Alert. The ones who invented the phrase, I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's not Life Alert?
That's not Life Alert. Life Alert had a variant that they trademarked, but that was originally made by Life Call in 1989. Is Life Call still in the industry today?
I'm going to say because I heard a one and not this one, I'm going to say no.
They did fold. You are correct. Life Alert came along and like, where I've fallen, but I can't get up. They like vanilla iced it, where it's like really similar but not the same, you know?
Just enough to not get sued.
Vanilla Ice It is.
Ours is dun 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 dun. You know, totally different.
Yeah.
Russell, last one for you. ShamWow, 2006. Absorbent cleaning towel. It had a really iconic like marketing thing, but is it still a product you can buy today? High energy demos,
That's right.
late night infomercials.
I'm pretty sure rest in peace that guy. I think he like
Vince? Is Vince? Oh no, he was the slap chop guy.
yeah.
Oh no, that were both Vince.
It was the same
I think
guy.
the product left with him. I think it's the same guy. Right?
I think it's the same guy. Yeah.
Or maybe maybe this is the OxyClean guy. I think
Billy
I'm mixing
Mays
him up.
is definitely dead. Rest in peace.
Yes. Okay, that's the wrong. I'm thinking. Shoot.
Maybe
Then
Vince is
ShamWow.
dead too. I
Sorry.
don't know.
Then ShamWow. If Chuck Norris is alive and the Bowflex is alive, whatever that guy's name is
Is
and
the ShamWow alive, Russell?
Yes. Yes.
George
It
Foreman.
is still. You are absolutely right. Which I think means you clinched it. You got all 3, Russell.
Did I really? Oh wow.
think so. Well done. So I think that means you got to go first, right?
Oh.
Russell, what have you got for us this week?
All right, so me and the fam love to walk around downtowns all the time, and we love to see these cute little signs, but never buy them. All those cute little signs that say, live, laugh, love. All the home is where your heart is. All that stuff, right?
Drink coffee. Read a good book.
Yes, all that. So my idea is to create a machine that you post up in a Lowe's. and you have all the different selections of wood, whatever options are available. You cut it to size, shape, and you have this giant maybe printer or CNC or whatever, and you sell the machine and you print whatever you want. There's templates, there's upload your own design, there's whatever, it's straight up like the Walgreens printer but on wood.
You can duplicate your keys. You can print a live, laugh, love sign. I like it.
Exactly.
It's like 100 craft show booths all in one little machine. Yeah.
Completely destroy like Etsy and the entire industry of mom and pop shop like signage. So
choose your campy italic or cursive font. Choose your family motto or whatever, and print it in vinyl. Boom. I have a friend who has a vinyl cutter, and about once a year I ask her, hey, can you like make this logo or make this custom design for me, because I haven't needed it enough to like buy my own, right? But if I could go to a store and do that too, I probably would.
Yeah, and I make all this money on the ink or whatever. Lowe's is buying ink for me all the time, right? They buy the machine, they buy my ink, they buy the tool heads, training. Got the full
HP experience.
The full business model there.
So my mind goes to having this in a Staples or a store like that. Like, let's revitalize those stores, right? Give me a reason to go in there and make some signs.
I forgot about Staples.
Like motivational posters for your office.
Yes, that's actually not a bad idea. You got to have the inventory of different wood size. Actually, they do that at Walgreens right now. They just have tons of different picture frames. You just do that for pre-made wood things, right? Yeah, Staples would love that.
Here at Ringcam, you can do anything. Or you can like have the custom, your business name, your family's last name here thing.
Every wedding would get like you'd get like 3 or 4.
Weddings would be huge for that.
I don't know what to get. The registry's all bought up. Get a sign.
Yeah, custom everything on there. Honestly, Russell, I just love the idea of having in a Lowe's just anyone can use easy to use CNC or laser or whatever. We're like, I need a specific piece of wood in this shape or exactly this thickness for just a shim or whatever. And I can just go in there, hit 3 buttons, and it'll spit out by the time I'm done.
The makerspace, yeah.
I would have used that on many occasions.
I've been on the hunt for like a year for a picture frame that's big enough to be a shadow box for a project I have in my mind, but like I haven't found quite the right one. The IKEAs and craft stores of the world haven't really had the right like size and shape that I have in my brain. But if I could go in and custom order it and not pay $8 million from a framing studio, a frame? Are you kidding me? It's 4 of the cheapest pieces of wood possible, and you're charging me $800? No. Or I don't know how much, but
so
yeah.
True. So true.
If you could custom order that shit from a Lowe's in 10 minutes and it like cuts it to size and stuff, that makes a lot of sense.
Wow. What if we just did that? Like just picture frames.
That's where all the money is.
They're stupid expensive, man. Like, wow.
There's got to be something about it that that I'm too stupid to like realize is the key to this market, because framing studios are like a thing, and I get that some of it is the artistic vision and you have to like know how to lay it out right and what colors would go well and kinds of wood, but some of it is like, this is like 4 cents of materials. Are you kidding? I guess it's nice glass if I'm doing the like expensive version or something, but
maybe a sheet of plastic. I don't know. Like
acrylic.
But off topic.
Oh, yeah.
What is the actual specific product? Like, is it vinyl that's going onto this wood? Is it paint? Is it something else?
It's the machine. So I'm selling the machine.
Oh. And the machine creates what?
The machine prints on the inventory.
Prints what onto the inventory? Prints paint? Like ink? Prints something? Okay.
That was it. That was
stenciling.
That was the original. Actually, now I think about it, when I wrote this down a couple months ago now, it was at the paint section. So you'd put it and you post it next to the paint section, and so you could refill it on paint. They got all the different color things, and so you can just plug. It's just right there. Like Lowe's has everything you need for that to make sense.
That's true. I was embarrassingly old when I realized that all of the paint jugs on the shelf are all white and they just squirt dye into it and shake it up.
Same.
Like, I just assumed that it was like spray paint where there's your, 100 colors and you have to custom order anything that you don't want or whatever. But you can make infinite colors with whatever's in the back of the Lowe's there, yeah.
Another thing I'm trying like maybe gonna spitball this into a maker space within Lowe's.
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah. Yeah.
Because like that's where it goes. Like I feel like I want to build these shelves behind me, right? And I could either buy $30 shelves or buy a sheet of plywood for 30 and then they cut it. I think they already have like some saws already at Lowe's that you can use. But like get me the CNC, the router, the all that other stuff, but like make it stupid easy where I just slide it in like a DVD and it comes out the other side like exactly what I want.
Makerspaces have a reputation for being the like high tech, soldering stations and drones and 3D printers and stuff, but they're long before that stuff existed, you had your guy in a garage with like a lathe and a CNC machine and stuff that was doing the same principles of things, but that sort of never became a communal thing that you could do. Like if a library or whatever spins up a makerspace, it's all the high-tech stuff. There really needs to be the like Lowe's hardcore equivalent to the car garage makerspace where you're doing this kind of stuff. I don't know where I would go if I needed to borrow one lathe for an afternoon other than the one guy that I know,
I do love the idea of a commercialized makerspace. Because one of the great things and not so great things about a makerspace is that you have some interesting characters that are often in there, and you're sharing these
Notice that
these machines with them, and sometimes they get upset with you if you don't do the settings in the right way. But if I could have this standardized a little bit more by a Lowe's or similar, and just have a guaranteed experience every time, I'd take it. And going back to the picture frame example here, so often I go to a store and they only have 3 of the frames that I want, but I need 5 or 6 of them, so if I could go and get as many made as I needed, exactly the way I wanted to, I'd be happy. I'd sign up.
Are you picturing this, Russell, as like this is like this is a red box? It's just a fully enclosed thing in the corner of Lowe's that you can just go up and type? Or is this like a sectioned out area where there's some guy in there running everything and just helping you through?
The grizzled old retired car mechanic.
Grizzled old Lowe's.
That's it. Like, the blinds machine. Have you guys gotten blinds at Lowe's?
Yeah.
Like they have this enormous blinds cutter. It is like 10 feet long, insanely, it seems like very dangerous, right? But like just some lowly employee that doesn't know how to, like would never touch a machine in their entire life, just plops this blind on the thing and now says, how long do you want it? All right, I cut it. And then boom, I got my blind measured and cut to size. Like
they do the same thing for plexiglass too. If you need like a sheet of acrylic to see through, you grab the big sheet and they'll cut it to size right there with a special blade that some untrained employees hanging out at. Yeah,
I mean that's it. Like let's throw some engineers on this, and make this thing happen. Like just sell a couple machines or special routers, and I bet there's some carpenter geek out there listening on this podcast that's like, I could make those machines out of wood, no problem.
The equivalent, what the key to it is the equivalent of the like Thingiverse or pre-made, design gallery stuff where you're scrolling through and you're typing in your custom line here or whatever for the wedding, but it's based off of the Live, Laugh, Love design that someone else has actually professionally laid out.
Do you guys remember when you'd have to get your photos developed and they would have these like Kodak little booths that would just be out in the middle of a parking lot?
Yeah.
And you just drive up, drop off your film, and you come back later and pick it up. I imagine just these little pop-up booths like that for this. Like Scotty, you're saying like this red box equivalent, size it up a little bit more and you just drive up, put it in your order, pick it up. Simple enough.
Yeah.
Man, I could almost, like, if Lowe's doesn't like me, right, or like this idea, I could just post this up, like, in the strip mall right next to
In
it.
the Lowe's parking lot.
And you buy all your stuff at Lowe's, you drive over to Cutters Are Us, and there we go, the name.
Careful.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Probably not Cutters Are Us.
Oh, yikes. Yikes. Maybe not that. Trigger warning. So
You're gonna make me put our first content warning in the description.
whoops. That's
Russ, why are we drawing such an interesting crowd at our makerspace?
the name. We got that was ChatGPT. No.
Jeez.
First we blame Gen Z, now we blame the AI.
But then you still get into this, like, you got that employee that just geeks out about all the tech. I don't know why. There's just always. That was such a good observation. Why, like, that's just how it is in those spots. And you kind of need that to have somebody so passionate to make that exist in its own right, but it's like,
But you also know that they're sleeping there at night, right? They're the best at using all the equipment, but they spend too much time there.
oh yeah, it's their identity, it's their whole life. And then you just have some mom that comes in like, I want to make a picture frame, and they will go all in on like, tell me the color, where's it going to be? Yeah, they'll just How many do you guys buy a lot of those signs? Do you have a lot of those signs at home? I guess we're talking to 4 dudes, so you may not even know that they're purchased or exist in your home.
My wife and I have ongoing jokes about how much we dislike that category of home decor.
Bryce is looking around like,
Read a good book.
No,
welcome to the kitchen. Like, ugh.
We don't have the cheesy ones, but we do make our own signs around here. We make our own decor.
Like what?
We'll definitely. I mean, I'll also make like a cutting board, whatever. I'm very handy. I'm the extreme end of the spectrum though, because like I'm hand making my kitchen cabinets, right? So I don't want to go to Hobby Lobby and pay $60 for something that is $2 of material. Exactly like you're saying, Leo. That's my apprehension. It's like I can make that myself, but there is that little bit of tooling gap or talent gap when you have to get to like a laser cutter or CNC machine. I don't have room for those in my house.
So it's your garage that I want to go to. Yeah, we wanted to recreate your garage, but in Lowe's. I get it. Every project is an excuse to buy a new tool.
Here.
Exactly. That's boy math.
all right, Leo, what do you got this week?
Okay, so I don't know if there's enough meat on this bone to make it a full. This is kind of an intramurals idea, but I think we'll see where it goes. We've talked a little bit about what it would be like to have like a shared pool of tools that you're somehow subscribed to or that you're contributing your tools to. I want to pare that back and pivot on it a bit. And I've been thinking about how there's the concept of the seasons being flipped in the hemispheres. You've got your winter and the summer being north and south sides of the earth, right? Which happens to coincide with exactly when I take my... Scott's already laughing at me. When you take your equivalent tools out for either snow blowing or lawn mowing. And I'm wondering if I could go to my cool new website and say, I would like to enter into a partnership with Pablo, who lives in Argentina, or somewhere on the southern side of the world, and we have my service rent a container ship twice a year, a couple of containers on there, and I do a swap where I own 50% of every tool that I need seasonally, and I just switch with someone else on the other side of the world.
Amazing.
Who also needs the tool at the exact time that I don't, and vice versa.
My snowblower is going to be better traveled than I am.
That's the whole idea.
This is a spitball idea right here.
So we've got opposite of America and Europe and Russia, I guess. We've got Australia, Africa, and South America. And there's probably equivalent sister cities that we could try to match up climates with, right?
You find the perfect one.
They roughly correlate. Yeah. I only need my leaf blower for like 6 weeks a year. And it's the exact opposite time of the year that someone else might need it on the other side of the world. And it just sits.
Leo, I love that you set up this idea by saying, let's take a step back and make this simpler than just sharing with our neighbor. Let's ship our tools all the way across the world.
All of this started because I learned that it's actually relatively inexpensive to very slowly ship something in a container. Like, you can get a container across long distances for pretty cheap, especially if you can pivot a lot of stuff in it. And it's not usually by weight, it's done by container itself. So you just have to like make it fit into a big metal box. Like, what could you do with that?
Oh.
That is a good point. It must be super affordable. In order for these like really cheap things to make it across the world and stay cheap, it's got to be affordable to load up a container.
Your AliExpresses and your Temus of the world are just packaging up a bunch of orders into one big old container and shipping it 6 weeks.
You know, if you were a rental company and you owned all of that equipment, maybe that would make a little
Ooh,
bit.
There you go.
So you're just renting it out for the season. You never own it.
Yeah, this could even be scaled up like industrial. Like I know that the businesses that I work at have giant like front-mounted front loader snowblowers and stuff that are sitting not used for months at a time. Maybe this is a corporate subscription that they're doing the same idea but with some headquarters over in Belize or I don't know somewhere.
Dude, where the market is. There are people
Yeah.
where there are people and there's snow. That's where you go. Catchphrase. There you go.
I meant to say Brazil. Belize is in the Caribbean.
I'm trying to think of a tool or service that could very slowly, steadily just follow the changing season, just like birds migrating south. 100 miles a day, it's just getting moved and
You can even
used.
do that across the U.S. Right now, we're in the middle of autumn when we're recording this, and leaves are starting to fall where we are, which means that in a month, leaves will be falling in like Tennessee and Kentucky, and as it goes down, we could even have this be like a wave of tools that slowly makes its way south and then back north in the spring. That's fun.
Yeah, I think it's just a logistics issue. Just got to do the, traveling salesman math and you could do that, right?
Well, Leo, a shift on this. This is quite a tangent. I'm thinking of how carnivals go around the country. And like, how could you just tag along if those carnivals are already moving around? How could you ship things alongside them and just follow their route? They're already going that direction.
Or like how concert infrastructure, you've got your tours that like pack and unpack buses and loads full of equipment and stuff. Yeah.
Whoa. I bet there's empty, like, room in a bunch of trucks, too, just
Maybe.
all over. Sorry.
That sound is Scott laughing at how there's not any room in the tour bus. Dave Matthews Band is totally fine with you sticking your lawnmower in their tour bus. They don't care.
I was thinking.
What if you...
Yeah, we're heading down to Georgia. Hop on.
Well, what if you had like a standard box that you can put and ship anything, like the USPS flat rate shipping boxes, and now, like, let's say I wanted to move across the state, right? I could have a truck. I could ping my local truckers, and
As long as you don't see your stuff for 2 months, it'll get there though, and it's cheap.
right? That's what I'm looking for.
It all comes back to Storazon. In
Everything
our
is
hearts, we want
Storazon.
it to be Storazon.
Which, I mean, at that point, like, now it's empty space on a truck that's being utilized and paid for, and it's cheaper. And if you don't care about the time, boom, every truck in America is full. It's eco-friendly.
This could be something where logistics companies are just laughing. Like, of course we don't have empty space. That's our whole job.
What if you did this for, like, with cars? Like, what if I had, like, my fast car or my cheap, like my summer car and my winter truck?
Or tires. I trade my seasonal
That's
winter
hilarious.
tires to someone over on the other side of the world and vice versa.
I'm more likely to do with tires than a snowblower.
They put a couple thousand miles on them, but there's still plenty of life left in these things. I'll put them back on, yeah. There's got to be other stuff that you only use
Yeah,
part of
that's
the
what I'm
year,
trying
right?
to think of right now.
Christmas lights. Well, I guess Christmas happens on the same date, even if it's summertime. Something like that, where it's like, I only need this for a month or two.
Clothing? Here's all my summer outfits. Here's all my winter outfits.
Hot tubs.
Are there any other products that have special shipping rates like books? It's super cheap to
Media
ship
mail.
books around. They have their own class. Yeah.
Media mail. Other media, so like
Records.
DVDs and tapes and stuff also fall under media mail.
It could be great if it's like shoes qualified because you could easily move your
Right.
winter boots around and someone else.
Yeah. Or you trade DVD collections with your media mail friend. I guess we just reinvented Netflix. DVDs.com.
That's good. A peer-to-peer version of it? That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. I'm contributing this old DVD of Blade to the collection so that I could pull down someone else's Starsky and Hutch season 2. Yeah, that's where the future is physical DVDs getting shipped out. It'd take all my
Packing
money.
in all empty crevices in a semi full of DVDs.
Yeah. On a tour
With
bus.
Dave Matthews.
With Dave Matthews. Okay, we don't have to try to pull any more out of this. It was a half-baked one, I admit. It's entitled Container Ship Lawn Tools Hemisphere Swap.
Shipping a snowblower to Pablo is just
Here, swap.
I don't think that combination of words has ever existed.
No, it's brand new sentences. All right, Scott, what have you brought for us this week?
Okay. If anyone has tried to buy a house in the last X years, it sucks right now. There's no inventory. What there is gets snapped up immediately. Interest rates are high. Everything just stinks about it. And I have, among our friend group and my family, and recently a random group of people I met on a trip last week, everyone just seems to be talking like, let's just screw everything. Let's just buy a plot of land and start a commune. And I've been hearing that more and more. And so Amazon is now selling like those A-frame houses for like 15 to 20 grand, right? Let's just start a company that goes out, you pick a plot of land, you get a group of people together that pools money, and this company that we start will set up all the rest. We will help you get utilities running to each individual plot on there. We will help you with whatever, gas, electrical on it. We'll help you set up the pole barn in the middle or the shared tool space or whatever. You can just get a group and start a commune for cheap. And we just have all the resources to do that. And that is the entire idea. And I am so frustrated. I want to start this all the time.
Yes, you pitch us on the commune for our friends group several times a year, every
time.
year, and I love it. And my first hesitation is always like, man, the contracts and obligations side of that would be like a nightmare. Like, how do you make sure that you don't have the guys who, ruin it for everybody?
That's what this company's for. It has all the templates of all of the...
Exactly.
Scott, I'm all in. I think I am the Scott of my friend group. I'm always pitching the commune as well, trying to get people to move in.
I just don't know what I'm doing fully. And I know that if I were to talk to... I have talked to professional builders about this and just all the little things that I am forgetting of what it would take to set this up. Although I kind of came to the conclusion last night, like, am I just creating a way for people to build HOAs and that's it?
Easy.
Because that feels evil.
A commune owners association.
That's what a commune is, right? It's just a...
It's either a cult or an HOA. There's only two options.
Inside of you, there are two wolves.
Scott, I think you single-handedly solved the housing crisis.
That's it. We will get so many more houses if just... every day I look on Zillow and there's like, oh, there's 20 acres over there for a relatively affordable price because there's no utilities on that property. It's not sections. It's not zoned. It's 20 acres, either forest or farmland. We could turn that into...
Do zoning laws in most places let you do this? Like, can you just take one parcel and turn it into 10?
That's another page on our website that helps you navigate the zoning laws.
Of course.
We have a lawyer on retainer.
The engineers will
The
figure
engineers will figure that out.
The lawyer engineers. Can you tell me a little bit about these A-frame houses that are on
Have
Amazon?
you seen these?
No. Tell me more.
Oh, we got to post a link
Like,
on it. It is...
Yeah, 15, 20 grand homes, right?
It's just like, it's
How many square-
everything.
Is this like a tiny home?
They're bigger than a tiny home, but not by much. Like, it's technically 2 stories with a second story is just kind of a loft. Couple bedrooms, single bathroom, all on a slab. So you just get someone to go out, pour out the concrete, and then they will deliver you a house to put on there. You hook up the utilities and you're good. And you use that as like your baseline for if you want to build bigger, better houses, do whatever you want over time. But this is your starter home on the commune for 15 grand.
Dang.
Yeah. And then we can make a bunch of money selling materials and other things to individuals going forward.
Yeah, the whole setup process. Like,
The 12-stall garage.
Yep. The communal playground in the middle, or the communal tool barn or whatever.
you could subcontract all that work out too, so you're technically like not even doing anything.
The coordinator, yeah.
Find a couple companies that you trust of contractors.
Easy
In
calls.
your ideal version of the commune with your friends, Scott, if this came to fruition exactly how you wanted it to be, what things would be a communal resource and what things would be individual to the home?
We'd have to set it up in the bylaws at the start. I love the idea of, like I said, a shared pole barn for tools, shared garden in some form. Anyone can come out here, a big hydroponic setup or something.
Shared shower, you know, it's a commune.
Shared shower. Shared bathhouse. Once a year, Leo's Pablo snowblower comes in and gets delivered, and we can all share that one together.
Guys,
Soon.
I was almost a customer of a similar service.
No way.
That is focused on homesteaders, not really calling it the commune. They call it homesteading collectives.
Yeah.
But they buy real estate in strategic areas, just kind of exactly what you're talking about there. And then they subdivide it and they do some matchmaking to make sure that everyone shares values on this property.
Whoa.
But to answer the question of like the common infrastructure, They do have like they have shared pastures for livestock. Yeah, and then a schoolhouse building. So if everyone's homeschooling their kids and all that. So
This is like 3 levels beyond what I was thinking, but that's incredible.
Whoa.
yeah, well, and these homes, like each one is like $800,000, but they build the homes for you, including your own livestock and your gardens. They have it all ready for you to move it. It's high end homesteading done for you. So probably different entry point to the market than the commune. But yeah, I love it.
It's like
Love this.
farming and glamping mixed together.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
For the ultra rich.
in that case, like you've still got like each individual house with its own traditional land ownership and all that stuff. Scott, you're kind of thinking like some sort of communal LLC or something is the owner of a lot of this stuff, right? Or how does that
I
work?
honestly think it makes more sense if you were to divvy it up in the property of
Okay.
it. Like, hey, this is your plot of land. We just have first rights to buy if you want to sell it back to the communal area.
That makes sense.
Yeah, 800,000 for the house coming in at the start. I love the concept. I want to try to get a low barrier to entry on this though.
More mass market, Scott.
More mass market.
Yeah.
You come to me you found the property already. You come to me and we will help you set that up.
How many dudes want to be on this plot? All right, I got it. Forward. Venmo me 80K. I got you. Like,
We take Venmo.
I got you.
Here's the kit for all the husbands to try to sell their various partners on the idea.
I'll talk to
We all
them.
know none of the wives want to do this.
Comes with a live, laugh, love sign. It's fine. Bryce, I want to look up that company so bad now.
Well, Scott, I do see that trend on social media all the time. It's always like a collection of female best friends who want to like build 6 tiny houses next to each other on a piece of land somewhere. And then you see the comments are just full of like, we got to do this. They're tagging all their friends.
Right?
So
The market's
can
there.
you just be the service for them? Be like, we got turnkey for you. How many, exactly what you're saying, guys. Like, how many houses do you need? Where are you thinking? I got
What
you.
amenities do
Venmo
you
me
want?
80K.
We'll take Venmo me 80K. It's prime delivery. Will be done in 2 days. It'll be fine.
2-day shipping of all your homes.
I think that's why it went viral. I gotta find the link to that A-frame, but it was on Prime, and people were just like, "How is this possible? What is happening here?" There has to be a company in China that just is spitting out like modular homes, right?
You can buy a
I were
car
to
on
go on
AliExpress.
AliExpress.
You can buy a house, Amazon.
Yeah.
You just Google like West Michigan tiny homes. There's like
Yeah,
a builder.
tiny homes are a thing
Yeah.
that like doesn't necessarily have to mean one room cabin. There's upstairs lofts and stuff, all kinds of designs.
I like what you're saying though, Bryce, where it's you could start with the tiny home on the low end of the spectrum and go all the way up to the high end. There was a couple up in northern Michigan that they bought a modular home, but it was a multi-million-dollar modular home where they're just like they send a fully assembled bathroom in there and they just connect it to the rest of the house and a fully assembled bedroom connected. And they kind of shift it around how they want. And this house was beautiful. It was everything pre-designed and ready to go and up in just a couple of days.
Played Tetris.
Yeah. But it was very expensive.
And in a year, if you want to rearrange your whole home's layout, you just take it apart, put the bathroom on the other end, and yeah.
It's just all about putting it on slabs, I guess. If you can live without a basement, you can make this work.
It'd be so fun to rearrange your home like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck
then,
on that
like-
idea now. Like, is there a way that we
Like-
could make like International Space Station style modules that connect and disconnect, and you could like get one crane in a weekend and rearrange your whole house layout?
Put in the laundry room right next to the bedroom. I'm sick of this.
For now.
For now.
But if you're in a commune and then like your neighbor takes your wall from you because they just want like and you're just missing a wall, what do you do?
All right, Bryce, what have you brought us this week?
Guys, I'm so excited to share these ideas with you. I've been pondering all day which ones it would
All
be.
right.
I'm like you guys. I have the long list of business ideas,
Hell yeah.
things I'm never going to touch, notebooks full of them. And there was so much pressure today to pick which one I was going to present. You don't know like the anxiety and the thrill I've had all day trying to think about which one's going to be. And at the end of it all, I couldn't decide. So I'm going to give you 3 options to choose from.
Hell yeah.
Jeez.
Yes.
And but I'm not even going to give you like the one liner on it. I'm just going to give you category for where it is. So one's for at work, one's for at home, and one's for the gym.
All three.
Oh, we can do all three too. I can burn through them. I got another 50 after that to follow up.
I would love home.
Yeah, let's start with
I choose home.
I was going to say home too.
What is home?
Home for 200.
Okay. So home for 200. This is a 200 one. So this one is inspired by the recent Tesla robots, the Optimus robots. And you know how they're saying that in the next few years are going to be these autonomous robots that are in your home doing all that. But they, at the demos, they were being controlled by just a human remotely, right? And I was thinking, I'm actually totally okay with that right now. Give me these robots controlled by a remote worker and let them like log in for 2 hours, do stuff around my house, then log into someone else's robot for a couple hours, do things in their house. And now I'm not paying for a full-time robot butler. And I'm getting the result. I don't need the autonomous thing.
And you're training the data.
Yeah. And they don't have to drive to like whatever that service would be. Let's say it's like housekeeping that the butler is doing. That a human doesn't have to drive to my house to do it now. Better for the environment, better for their time. It's more efficient.
You get your choice of knowledge experts. You got the best plumber in the region who's hopping into like 30 different houses because he doesn't have to travel between them all.
Ooh.
Exactly. The robot can do anything. It's who's the operator. And you just tag them in, whatever you need. Plumber, housekeeper.
That's amazing.
Oh, man. This is like the
Damn.
dial old grizzled expert idea, but
Yeah.
dialed up to 11, yeah.
But I could also hire some random person to mow my backyard at the same time with the same
Or
hardware.
serenade me on the piano while I'm eating dinner.
Or maybe it's a neighborhood robot and you can share it with your neighbors. It just marches down the street.
On the commune. That's perfect.
The commune. It runs the commune bot.
Commune bot.
Yeah, I suppose you don't have to have your own, yeah. In fact, I'd probably be more comfortable not having my own. I don't love the idea of someone being able to remote software-wise and then just be an agent in my home. That's definitely what you wake up to at 2 a.m. strangling you, right?
You just chain it in your basement when it's not in use.
Unplug the Wi-Fi, all right, from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Problem solved.
The only thing that could be a little unsettling is if this robot is outside your house and has to like come to your front door to then get access. And sometimes it misses the front door. It's just in your window, just kind of like peering in. Oh no.
I must do your dishes.
Yeah.
Walked through your front door, busted it off the hinges.
It's so dystopian, but this is going to be a real thing sooner than later. In between that,
Yeah, my fear is
full
the idea
general
that we're
AI robots, and
it's going to be a lot cheaper to outsource it to Indonesia, right? And have some third world country person driving around doing your whatever. Oof.
What if like I could have like even like friends and family come over in a way? It'd make it like a little less weird, right? But they're like present.
So yeah, the phone a friend, you know, you're making a meal and you want your aunt who has a secret recipe and also the know-how for how to like make the thing. They're right there. They're rolling the dough, whatever it is, you know?
tape a picture of her face on other robot's face. And just,
Yeah. It's just FaceTime, right? You just throw your phone on it or something.
just FaceTime on the front.
It's called FaceTime already. It's perfect.
I'm just wondering, why are we waiting until it's fully autonomous and then we have to trust it to make all these decisions on its own?
Yeah.
If it can mechanically move around through the world now and I can control it maybe through a smart suit or whatever, or just like an Xbox controller to get me most of the way there, you know, why not? Why are we waiting?
Yeah.
People talk about how the best like current telepresence systems are VR headsets, right? Where you feel like you're tricking your brain into being in this space. But you can imagine the VR headset plus this being the ultimate like control apparatus for going to visit grandma who lives in another country or whatever.
Give me a hug, Grandma.
You finally get to hold the baby. Too hard. Back off.
Oh, God. But, man, construction, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just building homes, right? Like, those subcontractors in general are expensive and they hate driving. You could do virtual visits, like virtual assessments of properties and inspections, like, remotely.
The idea of eliminating travel time in a lot of these industries.
One of my previous startups was in the restaurant technology space. We worked with a lot of service providers, and every service provider, you know, these the electricians, the plumbers, they all had a truck fee, right? Whether they were going to do work or not, when they got out there, they were going to charge you $150 for them just to get there. And then maybe they quote you, maybe they do work, maybe they do nothing, but it's $150
Yeah.
and you're just out. So how do we avoid that?
Yeah.
Right.
You could like temps. I don't, or like, let's say you run a retail shop and one of your employees was like, I'm sick, last minute. Boom, fire up the robot. Sure, you're paying a premium maybe for like, a $15 or $30 an hour worker at that point, because they're the backup to the retail outlet, right? So
Yeah.
they know they have a bunch of retail experience. So you pull up the robot in the back, and now they're running the shop or stocking shelves or something too, right?
Yeah.
Commercial, and you can have and
those things don't get tired, Stocking shelves or whatever. They don't need smoke breaks. They don't need, like, when you have somebody does their 20 minutes of controlling the robot, but then they can immediately cut over to somebody else doing it without a loss of, like, the humans can take more breaks, and it wouldn't mean that the job isn't getting done.
I've been using Replit lately with the AI agent, and it writes code for you, and it's really cool. And the first day I picked it up, I worked with it for 8 hours, and I was just loving it. And at the 8th hour, it said, I need to take a break. And I said, no, you don't get to take a break.
what?
Please, boss.
I'm still
Whoa.
working.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm working, you're working. Let's go.
Dang.
Yeah.
Little glimpses of dystopia.
You fire
Just
that
peeking
one.
through.
You want the A-type personality robots, not the go-getter hustler ones,
I
right?
will wipe your existence. Get back to coding.
Like, let's say you bought a fleet of these robots, and the night shift for like manufacturing or stocking would be way easier, right?
Because it's daytime in India.
That's right. The other side of the world now. So now there's
There's
no
a hemisphere swap.
Leo. That's what I was thinking, right? But like, then there you go. Now, like, the whole night shift crew the whole night shift thing doesn't have to exist anymore.
Turns it into a day job. That's interesting.
Ooh, that's better health outcomes for individuals as well. They don't have to work third shift, work
Yeah.
overnight.
Quality of life for humankind, right?
And you're doing the same thing for your day job, stocking shelves for,
Across the
somewhere
sea.
in China or Russia or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the shelves already stocked over here.
Soon all we're doing is stocking each other's shelves, and the economy's powered by night workers that are actually in the day. Everything's backwards. It's so confusing.
I just watched Optimus 2, like 30-second preview of it. I hadn't seen the latest version of it. That's incredible. The dexterity, and like, it's just like picking up an egg and just like, hey, I can walk, I can do things. That's incredible.
Makes you wonder if the robo-taxis just had a dude in the trunk, like laying down, remote controlling them. The cyber robo-van and the cyber taxi or whatever.
We should play around with that. See how many different cutaways we could make of the robo-taxi and all the different ways the person could have been contorted in there. Could they be like laying flat underneath it, Or what is it? Yeah. That was how the like Domino's autonomous delivery worked in the beginning. Did you guys know about that?
No, I don't know this.
So Domino's, they have I think they had drivers in the beginning, and then it was autonomous, but you would punch in a code on the car as it showed up, and then it would open up, the hatch would open up, and then you would get your pizza. They actually had a person inside there who would open, no matter what code you pressed, they would open the door and have your pizza loaded in there.
That's the only way it's legal, yeah.
So there was someone in there just hiding.
Right. That's great. The future is now.
But it was to like validate the market and some usability
Smoke
testing and
and
all that.
mirrors.
Like, smart, yeah.
MVP.
Is that like just some pizza driver driving 30 miles, pulling that thing out of their truck, and then going like 80 feet to the door?
Yep.
Yeah.
We make the autonomous thing autonomous in phase 2. Right now it's just autonomous proof of concept. Okay.
I just feel like you're like a ghost jumping in between bodies. It's just like whoop, whoop. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
It could be what the employee perk is like. After you work 8 hours, you get to walk around for 10 minutes in this robot, like outside, or like that's the perk, is you just get to explore a little bit.
Oh,
That would be really cool. I would pay for a service that let me just like drop me in front of some tourist traps around the country or on the world even, like a virtual vacation for an afternoon where you are walking around someplace that's kind of hard to get to.
Growing up, did you guys ever play the game Kidnap, where you would like Okay, I'm going to sound like a psychopath when I describe this, but I swear it was a fun adolescent game. So you and your group of friends would take one of your friends and you would kidnap them with they're on board with this. You drop them off some other on the opposite side of town with no phone, and then they have to figure out how to get home, right? Imagine that in this like telepresence robot where you just get dropped into a robot somewhere else in the world, and then you have to figure out how to get this robot back.
It's like interactive GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
You're stuck into like a street view, but oh shoot, I'm in Kathmandu. What am I supposed to do here? Yeah.
Gotta get the robot home.
The best escape room ever made. Just sitting on a plane.
It's just a silent
It's just perfectly still.
Does anyone know how to fly this plane?
One ticket to Chicago, please.
Put a pilot in there. And
Dude, like, what if you, like, do you even need the full-on robot? I guess you could do this with Waymo does this with their cars. Like, why don't I just have somebody, can I just plug in, let's say, like,
someone sitting at home with an Xbox controller and an Oculus can drive a car anywhere in the world.
yeah, or just do some of this, like, without the full-on robot, you could just create remote controlling devices as a service, right?
They are doing something like that in the construction industry. So you can remotely control like excavators, which is going to be a lot safer than having people on these construction sites. Yeah.
Boom.
So
They talked about that with robot surgeons too. You could have somebody controlling it across the world or across the country, and there's the 3 different remote surgery places that the one surgeon's operating in.
be careful when you sign up for remote surgery, because if you read it wrong, maybe you're just getting surgery in a faraway place and you're just in a remote territory.
I thought I was paying for a remote surgeon, but no, it was some dude in a shack in Brazil or whatever. Yeah.
To put your phone in airplane mode when you go get surgery in a place like that, like I can't have it messing with it.
One dropped packet and that scalpel's going through your body. I hate that.
God.
I hope you close it right there. I hope that's your ending line of the segment.
So thanks for listening, listener. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed yourself. And thanks so much, Bryce, for joining us. This is so fun.
This is a blast.
We have at least 2 other ideas that you were like on deck to give us today, so we definitely have to have you back soon, man.
Yeah.
Our website is spitball.show. There you can find links to our YouTube channel, other social media. Email us feedback, comments, ideas. We are a podcast at spitball.show. If you have any thoughts about how you could better use a container to ship things across hemispheres, I'd love to hear it. That's also how you can follow us on the Fediverse, such as Mastodon. We're podcast at spitball.show. Our subreddit is r/spitballshow. Our intro-outro music is Swingers by Bonkers Beat Club. Please, if you have a minute, think of some person in your life who would be entertained by this that we just put out into the world, and send a link to them to this show. We'd love to have you give a recommendation to somebody that you love. And if you wouldn't mind, leave us a review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is that you're listening to us on, please subscribe, add wherever you get your podcasts. New episode is out in 2 weeks. We will see you then.